So let's talk about we love our kids, but what this episode?
Are they spoiled?
Are we talking about our kids spoiled or kids in general, society?
Well, let's start with our kids,
and then we'll go to your kids.
Yes. Let's start with our kids and then go on to, and I guess I can't say kids in general, but kids in this same line of work that we and our children are in.
Well, okay, but let's take it a step further and let's talk about kids in general, because I think society has changed, parenting has changed, the accessibility of material things has changed, even the economically the cost of a lot of things has gone down. So spoiling kids, if we're talking about material things, but spoiling can be time as well, or the availability of your parents and the accessibility of things, which we'll talk about. So, but yeah, first let's talk about, are our kids spoiled? Ava, Alexis, and Jersey, if you're not aware, we have identical twins. Ava and Alexis are 7, and we have a 3-year-old, Jersey.
Yes. And as you know, we have a family business, and part of it is what we're doing here, but obviously part of it is the Mighty McClures YouTube. The girls have their YouTube, McClure Twins. Jersey has his YouTube, Playtime with Jersey. And in all of that, comes certain privileges or certain things, I guess, that happen for them that may not happen otherwise if we weren't in the business that we're in, Well,
specifically, you're talking about people send us things.
They get clothes, sunglasses, anything you can dream of. Even when we do brand deals, yes, the brand deal is often paid, and sometimes some of the things don't necessarily excite them, but some of the things do. The Nintendo. I mean, that's been something they've been obsessed with. Right. So they get these things that I'm not saying other kids don't get them, because their parents may just as well purchase them. I'm sure they do. Nintendo is very popular. But I'm saying that sometimes things just show up.
Things show up with an agenda. Somebody sends us something because they want us to use our influence to promote it. So somebody's very kind. They're like, oh, I'm going to send the McClure family these sunglasses, and we see the sunglasses, but we know what they want.
Correct. But sometimes it's in excess. And that is more where I say, wow, man, are kids getting spoiled these days? Because, we'll just do a brand deal, let's say, for a doll company. Instead of sending one doll for each girl, got like 12 dolls. It's like, what are we going to do with 12 dolls?
A quick shout out to our Instagram, We Love Our Kids But, because we are doing giveaway there. We have extra dolls. These are very nice dolls.
Giveaways.
So some of these companies send us a lot of dolls or a lot of products. So we're using our Instagram, We Love Our Kids But. We're using that platform to give away some of these things to people who need them or want them.
Yeah. So really, my question is, do we think our kids are spoiled? And I bring that up more in the sense of, I think if I thought our kids were spoiled, it would be like chop, done right away. So the answer is I do not think they are spoiled, but I do think they have a privilege.
I think they're spoiled a little bit. If we look at the definition of spoiled, it probably is something to do with a lack of appreciation in some regards. And because our kids have more than enough, and they open boxes and they just like next. I think there is a bit of spoilage there, and that is may not even be a bad thing. I know from my side, I try to let them know the value of things, not monetarily, but if somebody sent you something or we bought you something, this is something that you are to appreciate and value, and know that it can be taken from you, and know that some kids in the world, do not have this particular item. But I would say that I think on some regards, our kids are spoiled.
This is why I try to draw the line between spoiled and privileged. I say privileged because they get these things, because they can just open a box and like, oh, okay, what else is here? Now, for me, I see spoiled as a whole different type of behavior, to where other people are visibly like, wow, that's a spoiled kid.
Well, I think a spoiled brat is different than a spoiled, meaning that we have really good kids. But on some level, I believe that they are spoiled a little bit. And like I said, I don't even know that it's a bad thing. I think some of it comes from, loving your child in excess. When I go out to the store, I'm just like, what can I get the kids? What kind of game? What kind of learning device? What kind of thing can I surprise them with? Now, if I do this over and over and over again, I'm spoiling my kids. I'm frankly spoiling my kids. They don't need those things. They didn't ask for those things. They already have them in redundancies. And also, they do have privilege because they are kids of influence. They're very cute kids, so people give them things. So that's the privilege. And then there's the spoiling part. As parents, I also come in, and when I recognize this on my behalf, I come in there with my tough love and my stern words, and I take it away, or I'll throw it away, or I'll give it away if I feel that they are being spoiled, because I'm trying to show them this is
I think
love.
you need to back up a little bit rather than saying I take it away or I throw it away. I think that sounds harsh.
Okay, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, I'm throwing it away. That's it,
Yeah, I mean...
And this is why Jersey's spoiled, because he will throw it away himself. He's like, oh, okay, where's your trash can, Dad? I'll throw it away. That means he has no value for it.
That is true.
Because when I threaten
He
Jersey...
cracks me up with that.
I'm like,
But I think Jersey is... Sometimes his smarts makes him think like, okay, you're saying if I don't clean that up, you're going to throw this away. Oh, I really don't want to clean it up, so go ahead and throw it away. Like, I'll be okay. Like, he's making the conscious decision to be like, I really don't want to clean up. So you want to throw that away, I'll be okay with you throwing that away. At least I don't have to clean. Like, that type of thing. I think sometimes he makes that conscious decision. So in the end, to me, it's like, I'm going to throw it away, and you're still going to do what I told you to do type of thing, so that he's like, oh wow, okay, so there's actually a consequence here. I'm not just losing some toy that I'm like, whatever, and even back to Jersey, Jersey watches Ryan's toys, and these other people play. That's the stage he's in right now. He watches other people play with certain things, the Hot Wheels, and he's obsessed with that. So Mama, can we get the Hot Wheels car wash? Just a small one though. And can we get the color changing cars too? And I'm like, Jersey, do you see this giant bin over here with all this stuff? And I was like, you don't have to have every single Hot Wheels thing.
Right.
You just don't. You don't have to. But because his eyes see other kids playing with it.
Well, let me jump in there. It's basically shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
Because it's like an adult who has enough money to buy whatever cars or boats they want. They buy that car, that boat. Next thing you know, they want another one, another one, another one, because they are spoiled. They spoiled themselves, and they have the privilege because they have the money of doing that.
Yes.
So the shiny object syndrome, kids have that because kids are not mature.
Have that,
They're not mature in the mind enough yet. They have not evolved emotionally to be able to not be that way. So if parents allow them to be that way, they're always going to be shiny object syndrome. Give me.